Okay, let's continue. That the works at the beginning of every existing year, that all his works are subservient to him and invariable. Yet as God has appointed, so are all things brought to pass. Right? So the theologian, the scientist is going to come in and completely mess this up. Because he's talking about the relationship, I think, that we should have with the world, right? That the world should be subservient to us. Furthermore, there's this word invariable, right? So that again, this goes back to resolute, right? So a man or a woman decides to do something, and you might have somebody come along and try to stop them for some reason. There's a lot of control freaks out there, and they don't want you to do your own thing because they want you to do what they tell you to do, because they themselves don't have an identity or will, and their only identity is through you. So this is you owning your own will, and that whatever you decide, right? Again, because God is the image of us, right? This is not theology, science. He's telling us, well, God's works are subservient to us, to Him. Therefore, our works shall be subservient to us, right? He used the word carnal earlier, right? And that is a man who is possessed by his own flesh, right? Rather than his flesh being subservient to him. He also at times, it seems, condemns rich people, right? But it's not. But at another time, he talks about the wealth of the righteous, right? So it's your image. What is your image of yourself and others? Is your image that of the thing? That's the golden image he'll talk about, and the theology person will come in and just totally mess that up. Because golden image is, rap talk, Dr. Dre talk. A golden image is a man who makes fun of another man for being poor, and his image is caught up in the gold. So that, oh, I got a Bugatti and you're a poor boy, right? That's a golden image. That is you taking on the image of the gold. But he does not condemn wealth, right? If you're a man who is rich and you are resolute, and, later on he'll talk about a withered heart being bad. And so therefore God has a warm heart. If you are a rich man who has power over your things, you're resolute, and you have a warm heart, then I think Enoch is on your side, right? This is all about how you identify yourself, I think. And I think this is what is being said right here. This is poetry. They see too how the seas and the rivers together complete their respective operations. They see something through to the end, as they say. But you endure not patiently, nor fulfill the commandments of the Lord. But you transgress and calumniate his greatness, and malignant are the words in your polluted mouths against his majesty. Ye withered in heart, no peace shall be to you. Okay, so we have to go back to Enoch's heaven. right? Warm heart, right? God has a warm heart. So he's about a relationship which is a back and a forth, right? That's what this conversation is. It's I mean, how many one way relationships are out there, right? Uh, it's a back and a forth, and God has a loving, a warm heart, and so wicked people have withered hearts, and there's no peace in them. They're constantly distressed. They're constantly agitated. Let's see. So there we go. Therefore, your days shall you curse, and the years of your lives shall perish. Perpetual execration shall be multiplied, and you shall not obtain mercy. Okay, so, right now I want to introduce a word. Let's go with bitch. Right? And so I will define bitch as someone, male or female, right? Genderless. Someone who starts shit that doesn't need to be started. Okay, because look at this, right? We're talking about withered in heart and no peace, right? I mean, we've met people like that in our lives, right? Heartless and distressed and oh my goodness. And think about that. They're constantly shitting out of their mouths. Perpetual execration shall be multiplied, right? So my argument is that the meaning of the word wicked is very close to this bitch word. Someone who starts shit that doesn't need to be started, right? And before you give yourselves a pat on the back, let us look deeper into this word. Because how many times do you start shit against yourself that doesn't need to be started? All the time and from every direction. Right? So, I mean, again, we can't egoize any of this. Right? This isn't you versus another man. This is not personal. Right? It is personal. I mean, this is about the battle within, right? The battle between the bitch and whatever these two words mean, elect and righteous, and ungodly. We need to get to that one too. I don't know. So I mean, that's what it looks like to me, right? Malignant people who are malignant. I mean, people who are malignant can be very sweet talking, they can have smiles on their face. They're like, oh, how are you? But in their heart, they just want to stab you or something, end you from existence. And so again, polluted mouths, that's a polluted mouth right there. A mouth that says, oh, hey, how are you doing? Right? That's a polluted mouth, not fuck, damn, shit, blah, 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 Because this is a mouth that blasphemes. It's a blaspheming mouth, right? It's a mouth that pretends to love. It's a mouth of betrayal. In those days, right? And again, in those days, right? He's just talking generally here. This is, prophet, nudge, nudge, wink, wink here. Enoch is now my favorite writer. I like this guy. In those days shall you resign yourself. In those days shall you resign your peace with the eternal maledictions of all the righteous, and sinners shall perpetually execrate you. No. All right, I need some water.
Sounds like my daughter.
Mm.
Nice. What do you think? Went inside. And that's what people do. They spew on you. Until they want something.
Okay.
And then it's like, are you recording?
Yeah.
Right now?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No, nobody knows what.
Well, that's exactly what it sounded like.
Mm.
Like when I said I was dreaming and we put her in her place, right? It's because that's what she does. She spews and then...
Okay, so let's look at this sentence. This is a good sentence here. In those days shall you resign your peace with eternal maledictions of all the righteous, and sinners shall perpetually execrate you. So what he's talking about here is people who are unrighteous, right? And who are the people who are unrighteous? The people who are unrighteous are the ones who are resigning their peace to the bitch. And so the righteous person, doesn't put up with the bitch. So again, we go back to this word justice, right? And here's what I think Enoch means by the word righteous, right? I believe that he means to confidently do justice with your will. Right? To confidently do justice with your will. I believe, and what's really amazing is that if you take this definition and you put it into parables, the book of parables, like, oh my God, like it becomes explosive. And I only did like the first third of it because I write stories, so I just do this esoteric stuff part-time, just for fun. But parables. Oh my goodness. If you put this definition into parables, it becomes explosive. But if you put this definition into here, this book starts to become very explosive. So it's just like, you're resigning your peace. You're putting up with, like, let's say a child throwing a tantrum. I mean, if you allow that child to throw a tantrum, you're resigning your peace, right? And the righteous are maledicting eternally against you. And sinners shall perpetually execrate you. That's the child who is perpetually, give me some corn syrup and poison. And again, this is very general moral speech, so that this also applies to many other examples that you could probably think of. Shall execrate you with the ungodly. The elect shall possess light, joy, and peace, and they shall inherit the earth. But you, ye unholy, shall be accursed. Then shall wisdom be given to the elect, all of whom shall live, and not again transgress by impiety or pride, and shall humble themselves, possessing prudence, and shall not repeat transgression. They shall not be condemned the whole period of their lives, nor die in torment and indignation. But the sum of their days shall be completed, and they shall grow old in peace, while the years of their happiness shall be multiplied with joy, and with peace forever the whole duration of their existence. I mean, just like, what do you guys think on some of this stuff? I think there's this word unholy here, and totally undefined. I hear it, but I can't really explain it to you. because we need to figure out what he means. So this is, I mean, these are word games, and some of the and like the word games are different because we're going to get into times where he's just going to start riddling, and there's going to just be a bunch of riddles. And so is this a riddle? I don't know. I don't know the different word games, but he's playing with you because he's giving you a word that you don't know what he means with it yet. And so yeah, no, if you get rid of all the bitches, life will be bliss. I think that was me summing that up. It happened after the sons of men had multiplied in those days that daughters were born to them, elegant and beautiful. And when the angels, the sons of heaven, beheld them, they became enamored of them, saying to each other, "Come, let us select for ourselves wives from the progeny of men, and let us beget children." Okay, we have the sons of heaven here, and the sons of men, right? So, what's going on here? Later on, I believe that, because I believe that this is a post Mosaic Jewish man. And so I believe that later on he's going to very clearly argue for a celibate rabbi-ship. I mean, I think it's very clear that he believes that the rabbis should be celibate. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I think he's saying that, right? And so maybe this has to do with that. The sons of men and the sons of heaven are taking women when they shouldn't. I don't know. What do you think? But we'll get to that part later. Then their leader, Samyaza, said to them, "I fear that you may perhaps be indisposed to the performances of this enterprise, and that I alone shall suffer for so grievous a crime." But they answered him and said, "We all swear and bind ourselves by mutual execrations, that we will not change our intention, but execute our projected undertaking." Then they swore all together, and all bound themselves by mutual execrations. Their whole number was 200, who descended upon Ardis, which is the top of Mount Armon. That mountain therefore was called Armon, because they had sworn upon it, and bound themselves by mutual execrations. These are the names of their chiefs: Samyaza, who was their leader, Urakabaramael, Akibiel, Temiel, Rumael, Danel, Azkael, Saraknial, Asael. Armors: Batraal, Anane, Zavebe, Samsavael, Artael, Tural, Yamyael, Arazial. These were the prefects of the 200 angels, and the remainder were all with them. Then they took wives, each choosing for himself, whom they began to approach, and with whom they cohabitated, teaching them sorcery, incantations, and the dividing of roots and trees. That's like, oh my goodness, dividing of roots and trees sounds really terrible, huh? And the women conceiving brought forth giants, whose stature was each 300 cubits. These devoured all which the labor of men produced, until it became impossible to feed them. Okay, so let's stop here and let's talk about these giants. What is the nature of these giants? Right? The nature of these giants is that they are devourers. Right? Now, a devourer is directly opposed to a maker. right? So the maker makes and the devourer devours. So, I mean, we're clearly seeing a very, a two-sided thing here. We're gonna put hell down, right? Now, some people out there might not believe in hell, right? But what we can do here is we can do a soul, no soul thing, right? So here we have no soul, and here we have soul. Now we put hell into both sides. And where is my water? Oh. Okay. So we put hell into both sides, and so let's put hell into the soul side. If we put hell into the soul side, we ask the question, does hell exist? Right? And the answer is a big fat, I don't know.
In your mind.
Now, it is now let's put hell into the no soul side, right? Now, what do I mean by this? Well, I mean, have you ever been in a bad relationship? A relationship with, I mean, oh my goodness, like exactly. Have you ever had a bad boss? Right, right. So, does hell exist? Totally. I mean, 100%. I mean, that's science right there. So, um, where are we? Oh, yes. Okay, yeah, devour. That's right. So here we have hell over here. We'll scatter we'll scatter hell. So we'll have an H. No, that's not an H. So there's, oh no, I didn't scatter it. I just wrote it. Okay, whatever. We have hell right there, and hell is devours. Devours. Dictation. Dictation, right? And again, when with the word dictation here, we don't want modern conceptions of the word dictation, because if we do modern conceptions, we come up with the word dictator. So the political thinkers of our day are lying to you, and they're doing it on purpose, right? Because the political thinkers, what they do is they say that the divide is in form of government, right? It's the form of government. So the divide between a good government and a bad government is form of government. So the form of government is either dictatorship, which is bad, kingship bad, right, or republic or democracy good, right? Moses and Enoch would completely disagree. They would say that the true divide is in the law, right? That you can tell a good government and a bad government not by form of government, but by law. So think about it like this. Like, let's say that tonight the aliens attack and take over Earth, okay? And we wake up the next morning and the aliens are like, all men are now free. You're all required to respect one another, and disrespect will be treated with disrespect. You cannot cheat or lie to one another. You cannot hurt one another. Yada, yada, yada. You're free. Right? I mean, if that were to happen, like, it's like, hell yeah, the aliens just took over. Yay! Hooray! It's in the law that is the true divide according to Enoch and Moses. And so this is about relationships right here. right? The dictator, because it's about the law. Um, all right. Okay, so these are giants, right? Um, I mean, who is he referring to? Like, think about like aristocrats, right? Those are giants. Think about corporations, right? These are giants, right? I mean, I think this is the type of thing he is referring to. The men in your local community who try to lord it over everyone else. It is the makers who are the as above in Enoch's way. When they, let's see, until they became impossible to feed. When they turned themselves against men in order to devour them. I mean, do you hear this? And began to injure birds, beasts, reptiles, and fishes, to eat their flesh one after another, and to drink their blood. Then the earth reproved the unrighteous. Do you hear that? I mean, if you put, oh my goodness, like the righteous wouldn't put up with this shit. That's very clear. This is his meaning. The righteous would not put up with this shit. It's very clear. Where are we? Oh, there we go. Moreover, Azaziel taught men to make swords, knives, shields, breastplates, the fabrication of mirrors, and the workmanship of bracelets and ornaments, the use of paint, the beautifying of the eyebrows, the use of stones of every valuable and select kind, and of all sorts of dyes, so that the world became altered. So here we have God has made all things and possesses power over all things. We understand that now, right? God's a maker. But here we have Azaziel, who's teaching men to make. Oh my goodness. But what's going on here, right? What's going on here? It's obvious. It's violence and vanity, right? I mean, Enoch would say that it is good to be a workmanship of bracelets and ornaments, right? I mean, here we come to the word intent or heart. What is your intent, right? And the intent of Azaziel is to promote false images upon earth. Azaziel wants to promote the false image that a dumb, stupid brute is the as above, right? The man with the sword and the shield and the breastplate, right? You see what's going on here, or I think maybe I'm wrong. Like, what do you guys think? I don't know. But I mean, I think this is very clear because God is a maker. So making bracelets and ornaments is a good thing. Okay, it's the spirit that it is given and the spirit that it is received. Impiety increased, fornication multiplied, and they transgressed and corrupted all their ways. And again, we can just we're still kind of in the realm of hack prophecy here because we could talk about a moral pendulum, right? Now, I think, it swings back and forth, right? Now, I think Enoch isn't a 2-bit moral hack, and this is kind of too simplistic. I mean, a reading of moral history might read something like this, I don't know why I'm squiggling the lines. I mean, it might read something like this. But I mean, you can see here, this is what he's talking about, right? Fornication multiplied, and he's talking about any time when you're in the downturn, when the bitches are in the expansion, and the righteous are in the diminution. These are two words that he uses later on in multiple ways. Amazarak taught all the sorcerers and dividers of roots, right? The sorcerers, the manipulators, right? The posers, the betrayers, the ones who say I love you when they don't. Armors taught the solution of sorcery. Ooh, what is that? Barakayal taught the observers of the stars. Akibeel taught signs. Tamiel taught astronomy. And Asaradel taught the motion of the moon. And men being destroyed cried out, and their voice reached heaven. Okay, last time I went through this, okay, here you do. You have to go over all of this list of these bad angels, and you have to see if these guys here are on this list. And this is Azazel. Azazel is not, I believe, on this list. Right. Amarazak, I think he's there. No. No, he's not. Armors is definitely there. Barkaryal, I think. Is he there? I don't see him. No, he's not there. Tamiel's there. Anyways, so what I'm trying to say here is that maybe this is nothing, right? But these guys are the chiefs, so they're the leaders. In other words, these are the guys who can be seen with your eyes. Azazel is maybe not a leader, right? He's not a leader, technically, because he's doing more insidious stuff, right? So he's the guy behind the curtains, maybe. I mean, this could be wrong. What do you guys think? There could be nothing to this. But there are, Amarzak. He's not over there, and he's all about sorcerers and the dividers of roots. Ooh, man. So there we have it. What do you guys think on all this? And of course, like I can't look up the names of any of this stuff because they don't give me the etymology. So what do all these names mean? There's going to be significance there. Then Michael and Gabriel, Raphael, Suriel, and Uriel looked down from heaven and saw. Oh, this is too long. Let's see.